Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I am Many Ninjas, and welcome to another episode of Retro Ninja Gaming. As I mentioned in the very last video I did, which was the first of a blind run for Shantae Risky's Revenge Director's Cut on Steam in this case, after a little bit of conversation with fellow YouTube user Retroshinobi, I decided to actually take a little bit of a look at, or a little bit of a returning look at Return of Double Dragon, which now I have a physical card of, so we'll be playing that using the Dazzle setup. But since we've already gone through the Billy run, and apparently Jimmy plays a little bit differently, that's what we're going to look at right now. So, pardon me a second as I turn this on. Right now holding the first controller port. And basically for the use of this and just getting into the actual game itself, those will be the only uses I have for this control. As I have the second control here for actually playing as Jimmy. Unfortunately, with the way the game is set up, you can't actually select which Lee brother you want to use, so just to confirm as things are normal, in this case we're playing on the default setting. I believe that was the same way I played it on the original run with Billy. So basically all your default stuff, normal, 5 credits total. And I believe mode B is the one where I can actually, where it's actually friendly fire is on, because otherwise I have to let the enemy slowly kill Billy off, and that'll take too long. Alright, let's put this controller down. There we go. I think there might even be a few more enemy spawns as a result. Yeah, better him than me for the knife. First thing I do note, Jimmy does indeed have a different punching animation. I believe... yeah, Billy used to, or normally has 3 punches, where Jimmy seems to only really focus on 2. I'm not sure if Jimmy's first punch actually comes out faster, as Retroshinobi suggested, but there seems to definitely be a very delayed wind-up for the second punch. Otherwise, nope, standard. No, I think mostly the punching is what's different in this case. Okay, just need to kill Billy off one more time. Just to get on with the one-player run. Just checking some what. Yeah, no, I think aside from the punching combo, Jimmy relatively plays the same. It's just kind of a graphical switch except for that one punch. Alright, good to know. We've now dismissed Billy. You can go on vacation for a bit, buddy. Ah, nunchucks. How generous of you. 1 second, I'll get over you. Okay, that was poorly timed, but 1 second, I can recover from that. Yeah. Forgot how itchy this mask could be when you have a mustache at the time, which is not seen on camera, obviously. You always have to prioritize any enemy that has kind of a weapon with them, especially if they have a knife, because those hurt. The bow's not my preferred weapon, but it does in a pinch. For the preferred, as you can probably guess from the previous playthrough in here, it's the nunchucks. Just because, one, you can spam them faster than anything else. Okay. I didn't expect that actually would reflect, but hey, it worked. Doesn't have the same flourish as a spinning back kick, though. Okay, that was a missed input there. Oh, well, they gave me the bow for a reason. Might as well use it. This would be honestly one of those games, ladies and gentlemen, that I play it every now and then, every few years. It's one of those games, even though I've beaten it quite a few times at this point, I just like revisiting. It's kind of that way, the same way with Streets of Rage 2. And Streets of Rage 1 for that matter, although not quite as much. It's probably the most any of those sword wielding guys. I can't remember the name, although it was posted in one of the early YouTube video comments. This is probably the most time they've hit me, though, in a single run. Actually, a little embarrassing now. Yeah, he's still alive. There we go. I'm not sure if this is the first game where Billy and Jimmy had very distinct haircuts, but it's an interesting little change there. And I'm not sure if it comes out as clearly in the audio there, but there's a satisfying crack when you hit with Jimmy's second punch. The one that seems to do the real brunt of the damage. I think as a result, Jimmy actually might do a little more damage than just the 2-punch, or at least equal to Billy's 3-punch combo. I gotta lure him out of the corner. No one's hitting anyone there. I forgot he actually could break throws. He's probably the first enemy that can actually do that. That feels good. That is actually my preferred way to get rid of a knife. Not making them drop it and throwing it, but kicking it right back at them. Just for the audacity of bringing a knife here. The only weapon I hate more than getting a knife thrown I do is a boomerang. Just because for some reason they're extra tricky. Oh, I wasn't paying attention there. I don't think I actually showed off the reverse kick, or the back kick in the previous game. Rat. No, thank you. I've seriously been hit by enough swords in just the first round alone. In terms of which game in the Double Dragon series I prefer, I don't know if it would either be a toss between this or Double Dragon 2 The Revenge, which I played a lot back in the old NES days. In a few years back, I probably would have said Double Dragon 2, but at least as of late, I've definitely found myself playing a lot more Return. Hate those guys. Okay, now this is just getting silly. I'm being careless. I'm being very careless. You'd think you'd be able to just jump over the barriers easy. Just because everyone else seems to be able to do it. But I guess that's something only limited to enemy AI. I don't know why. For Billy and Jimmy, you have to actually obey the rules, as loose as they are, and actually walk around all the obstacles. I really do wish they actually finished this game and included some of the cutscene stuff that I remember reading about back in the day. I believe there's a handful of sites online that do list some of the missing content that got cut just because they ran out of time or budget, I'm not sure which. And generally if the Double Dragon games are good on anything, it's that they actually do include a bit of story, normally in each of the titles. It's a little more visible in things like Double Dragon Advance and generally any later remakes of the first two games. Although, speaking of remakes, one remake you want to avoid is Wander of the Dragons, I think that's what it's called, which is effectively, from what I've seen, an incredibly poor remake of Double Dragon 2. Which, aside from maybe a few bits from the official soundtrack, is absolute rubbish. It's probably the only place I found where that has an actual remix of the Shadow Battle actual theme from basically the boss fight that they included in the original arcade game, and in this case the music that was only available on the actual NES port. I don't know if it's just me, but okay, I think I might have to agree with Retroshinobi. This actually does feel a little easier for some reason. Maybe that second punch of Jimmy's actually does do more damage, just to make all the combo shorter. Things seem to be going a little faster at least. Nunchucks. I have no idea if there's anything specific that causes it to just spam the first hit or so, or to actually do the actual regular combo. If there is a difference and someone happens to know exactly what causes it, please tell me in the comments, because I honestly have no idea, and I've been playing this game for years. I don't think any of the enemies actually pick up any of their weapons after they've dropped them. Yeah, a little too early to jump back in. 1 second there. Hey there. Just recording something right now, so I'll get down to you in just a second. Just recording something right now, so I'll be down there in just a second. Yeah, you'll have to excuse me for just a quick moment. I will hopefully edit this out on final. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, back at this point. I will have hopefully crop this part out of the thing before I actually record it. So, let's continue where we left off. I guess he has some invincibility frames walking out that doorway. So otherwise, I really should have hit him. I'm not kidding, this actually is way too easy right now with Jimmy. As I say, as I just get hit. Oh well, at least on the bright side I did figure out something that does help a bit. Unless I get jump kicked. They don't seem to block too well if I happen to dive kick into them first. They'll block the dive kick and then take the actual punch combo straight in the face. Most of the time. Okay, fine, I'll go after the other brother. I don't think the AI knows what to do about blocking that. Also feels a little weird. You face two characters which are probably implied to be the bosses of the area, and then you have more generic thugs right after that. And then, of course, we take the next reasonable option. We jump on top of some trucks. Or a truck. Gravity and flooring is always a little strange. You actually pause in motion. Ooh, wrong move. My bad. You actually pause in motion as you're walking, or as you're actually attacking. But if you're standing still, you keep kind of being dragged to the back of the truck. Probably a way to take advantage of that, but I'm not sure what yet, because even in hit stun, people end up kind of still rolling back. Oh, I didn't know you could dive kick a knife away too. Good to know for later. Okay, I figured it was better to take that hit than to take the jump kick. I don't know which. I think it actually does a little more damage with the jump kick than the punch. Okay, no, there's nothing too harder. I can probably save the life. The stage is actually really short, so we're actually, after we get off this truck, we're just about done. And Jimmy goes flying in the most hilarious of ways. And we get to see all the remaining bosses, which include the clown, which I believe was named Maguire. The most dangerous thing on the screen right now is... Actually, no, it's not the barrel anymore. It's the boomerang. Now it's the knife. Yeah. At least that got a little revenge. What was he throwing that knife at? Oh well. If I've played as well, then I should be able to keep this one life for quite some time still. Because really, this game is honestly so much easier as Jimmy, I don't know why. I don't believe I'm playing any particularly better than I did in my first run. It's just, for some reason, it's really that much easier. I thought he would have been dead with the earlier strikes. Okay, I was pushing my luck with spinning kick. I wonder if the barrel will still be there. Excellent. They had me all the goodies on the screen. I'm fixing the barrels too. Did not mean to do that. I actually meant to keep the nunchucks, but that works too. Now this boxer clone. Yeah, oh, okay, he's dead sooner than I thought. No, let me keep the nunchucks. Right, there we go. For a second, I thought I lost them on the stairs. They hit detection or item detection is a bit weird in this game sometimes. Everything's a little weird in this game at some point. They don't know how to handle platforms too well. If he spent more time trying to punch me instead of the platform, he probably would have succeeded. Like that! unfortunately, that little mishap puts me at a little bit lower health than I would want facing off with the next boss, which I believe is McGuire. So I'll try to even the odds a bit. I should be able to walk away with the knife at this particular fight. Give myself a slight edge on the boss fight just by taking a knife to him. God, ran into the wall sooner than I thought. Okay, I need to get rid of one, if not both of them. On a one-on-one fight, as I was just about to say, McGuire does not stand a chance. I say that just as I get through. That's a waste of a life. Yeah, no, I wasn't even that far from killing McGuire. He was actually really damn close. As you might have noticed, I'm a little good at kicking the knives right back at everyone. Most of the time. I believe on my initial recording with Billy, I was doing a horrible job of that. One hit me. That was lucky because I did not even see that knife come. And I walked into those bunches. Alright, splendid. I don't actually want to fight him in that corner just because if you miss your punch, he's almost guaranteed to actually get you with his. It's just the hitboxes are a little weird on the punches here. Both the enemy AI, I actually cleared that jump. The enemy AI and player positioning don't seem to know how to work in corners for the most part. Ooh, I missed that knife. I thought I actually made that jump kick just long enough to hit. little conservative gameplay is in order here. Alright, the next boss should be up. He'll have at least 2 helpers. Fortunately, both are unarmed off the top of my head. Only 1 spawn in this case. Any resemblance to anyone named Arnold is less than a coincidence. Now you can actually scroll up and down, but I just prefer to keep everyone on top because it's a little easier to manage them at this point. He had 1 more helper. This isn't like some of the other titles where everyone runs away once the actual boss is dead. Which actually reminds me, there's a bit of an infamous bug that can occur. No! As I was saying, there's a bit of a bug that can occur in Streets of Rage 2, I believe, where if you happen to kill Mr. X, I'm not exactly sure what causes it, but if there are any minions that are still alive, they occasionally stay alive even after Mr. X is killed, and can effectively kill you after the fact. Basically, causing a game over where you have no control over the situation. I've never seen them go those many times in rage mode, run after the other. And I just want to scroll a few of the enemies on screen, but they seem to be giving me everything. If possible, I just wanted to face off against this guy alone. I need some of these other guys dead, otherwise they will cause problems. After this guy's done, it'll let me go on the elevator, because every beat 'em up needs an elevator stage. Mind you, I have no idea how this elevator works, because it goes all over the place. I'm not sure how many more goons are left after these two. Okay, I'm going back up, which must mean I'm facing off against some of the early refights. They kind of stretch a bunch. Basically, you end up refighting a bunch of the bosses over the course of the game. That works too. I missed the kick, but as long as it didn't hit me, that's the important part. Oh, I forgot you don't kick against those guys. That is the one thing you don't do. They can block everything else, but they will actually counter your kicks. I do wish this game had some health respawns in the middle of, or refills in the middle of levels, because this is a very long level by comparison. Filled with boss refights. Okay, that should finish off this section. Scrolling on. Take the boomerang. I don't really have a use for it. I just want it as a one-time weapon though. Okay, not 100%, but my knife game is mostly on point. We're good here. I want everyone on the same side. Or at least manageable. The knife is what I'm worried about because that will take a lot of health if I miss. And at this point, it might actually kill me outright. Thankfully, the AI is stupid. That went a lot better than the last run. I believe he actually managed to peg me and kill me with that knife last time. Mind you, if I keep getting hit like that, it's not going to help either. I was a little too far away to get the combo to work, even though it would have hit. But we're closing on the home stretch with the title. I don't want to jinx it, but at this point, if I manage to somehow keep it at this level, I actually can still do it with no continues. Let's see. Unfortunately, this area, with how long it is, it does get a bit dry, so let me try to think. In terms of comings and goings on this particular week, I actually want to look down here. Some of the recent comic book pickups that happen to be somewhat related to content I've covered on the channel and on my site included the first official issue of the Mortal Kombat X comic book series, which I actually found a little curious. Wait, crap. Okay, I'm literally surviving with no life right now. I'll take it. But as I was saying, it's pretty much... Did I say no continues? Because I just screwed up. Oh well. It's still a better playthrough than the last point. But anyway, as I was saying... I missed it. 2 seconds in. Yeah, but... Okay. Really, this time, as I was saying, the MKX comic pretty much tries to fill in the gaps between the last entry, which most people refer to as kind of Mortal Kombat 9, and the title that's going to be coming out in April, which included a few things that I found curious. One, they actually seem to do a significant change to Scorpion's look, not just in terms of costume, but in the fact that he actually has pupils again, and for the most part still seems to be partially alive, and is now sporting a beard underneath his mask. As we meet him pretty early on, as he apparently even starts a new Shirai Ryu at that point. But as this is Scorpion in his story, you know that can't last for too long. I won't go into much more details other than that. And we're slowly showing pieces of exactly how certain things happen to certain characters. In this case, how this time around, I'm not sure which Sub-Zero is being referred to, but how one of the Sub-Zeros ends up getting his scar. It's actually at the hands of Kano, but I won't reveal exactly how that happens. Where the Red Dragon is involved this time around. Parts of the ending actually seem to show or allude to characters that can make potential appearances because they're still around in some format. And basically you have, what everyone kind of figured is, Quan Chi is of course kind of a big element of the story. But it's not exactly a surprise that there's also allusions to it basically being where we left off last time, which is kind of a rehash heading into Mortal Kombat 4 territory. But with things being much more screwed up, because a lot of the cast at that point, because of the previous title, are kind of dead, so now we're asking questions, how are these people back at this point? Such as, in this case, for any of the Sub-Zeros, we see a Sub-Zero that is alive and well, it looks like. But he was either, if you go by the newer one, roboticized and dead, or the other one, killed by a Scorpion and turned into new Cyber. So which one are we really looking at here? And in either case, how did they come back? In terms of recent trailers, we have Princess Katana and Kung Lao that are back, both of them also being dead at one point or another in the previous story game. So once again, how are they back? Quan Chi is probably at the heart of a lot of it, but there's still questions that need to be answered. So hopefully the comic will help to shed a little bit of light between the game, or between the two games, until April hits and things will start being a lot more clear. This itself is the last boss room. This was not present in Super Double Dragon. I got hit by a very rapid jab there, by the way. As previously mentioned, that one long room after the elevator room, or the elevator setup, was where, in the North American port, Duke randomly appeared in the middle of an incomplete hallway at the time. And that's where the game would end there, with a text-only ending description. Which, as you can imagine, is just as underwhelming as it sounds. Okay, the important part is that he missed the throw, but even better, because he missed that throw, and there is a wall back there, I get to keep the knife. I threw it against the wrong enemy, but I got to keep the knife. It's rare to get a throw on any of the bosses just because they're kind of hard to get a hold of. They tend to escape throws rather quickly, unless they're completely dizzy. That was a very dangerous kick to throw because that probably should have been counted under normal circumstances. Generally the trick with these guys is you need to keep them as separate as possible, at least outside of punch and kick range for them, and switch your attention between the two. You can't just focus on one. They seem to be much less cooperative this time around, in terms of falling for the same old AI tricks. Maguire on himself, or the Maguire refrag, when he decides maybe new clothes will make me more powerful, is really the same way. I think he might just have a little more health, if anything. But on his own, unless you happen to just fall just out of range where he'll start pulling off that move, he's generally harmless. He honestly doesn't even try to throw that much. Which I say after he actually managed to kill me with that earlier. Really, it's just the spinning attack that is his most dangerous attack. He's pretty good at dodging for a big guy, though. I have to get at least one more knife kick right out of the way. That might be the last one of the game, so I hope everyone's been enjoying them up to this point. I think in total I might have missed up to 2 to 3 of those. Well, 2 to 3 where I actually got hit with them. Otherwise, they just missed because the AI has terrible aim, it feels like. Okay, I can't hit him there. He's blocking everything I throw while he's up against the wall right now. Okay, and with him, Duke should be hopping out any moment now. Sometimes it's best to just let Duke walk away because you know he's going to come up with his version of the... I don't know what the move is called, but basically I'll just call it a clown spin just because I don't know the proper name. Or he does that sometimes. Basically, anytime Duke happens to get enough distance, he'll either do the ground clearing spinning kick or his own version of the clown flip. You know what? I'd say this is overall a good ending to the game, but a little embarrassing because, as you can see on my life total, I had 2 lives left on that continue. Which means if I had just managed to keep that one last life, this would have been a 1 continue game. Damn. Anywho, that is probably, at least unless I happen to get someone else to play as a second player and we do a 2-player run, that's probably going to be my last run that I'm going to show on channel here of Return of Double Dragon. Overall, just to kind of reiterate what I've said before, fun game. Tragically incomplete, though. If they had had the chance to probably finish it, it would probably be the top game of the series. And it's probably still one of the top higher-up games. Probably just a little below Double Dragon 2, The Revenge, which it generally comes off as the most polished of the series, or at least the most well known and well touted of the series. So once again, thank you all for watching. I'll be doing some more blind run of Shantae Risky's Revenge Director's Cut after this. In terms of what I'm playing next on Retro Ninja Gaming, I'm not entirely sure yet, but of course once I do figure that out, I'll be posting it up on my Twitter account, at Many Ninjas. And of course, for more videos and updates in general, I am ManyNinjas.com as my website for all that sort of stuff. So thank you all for watching. Take care. See y'all later.